with the amazing kara-lindsay. And you may know her from Wicked or Newsies or Beautiful or so many other things. How have you been? How's quarantine been for you?
Good. Thank you, Claire. I love your place,
Thank
first of
you.
all.
Welcome to Chicago.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh, big cities. So quarantine's been going great. My baby keeps me busy, that's for sure. Um, and so he was born in November. We're coming up on a year. And most of his life has been pandemic, which is crazy. But soon, hopefully, he'll know differently.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so it is Wicked Day. It's been 17 beautiful years of Wicked. Yay! Um, I kind of want to talk about Wicked a little bit. What was your journey like with Wicked? And what has it been like seeing it through the last 17 years?
Oh my goodness. It's so amazing. It's so cool to like be a part of that community now of, 17 years of company members and backstage crew and the creatives, everybody that makes that machine happen. I mean, it is a massive machine and it's just brilliant. I love the story first and foremost. I mean, that's why it's such a success. It's just so, and it's also female centric, two powerful females leading that show. And I think that's so beautiful and wonderful. And I love that that's the kind of show that's so successful on Broadway. One of, so that I felt really proud to be a part of that. And I also, seeing it the first time, I saw Megan Hilty. She was standing by for Jennifer Laura Thompson, I think, at the time, and she was going on for a week because I think it was Jennifer Laura Thompson was out for a week, and she sent a message to Carnegie Mellon people because we went to Carnegie Mellon. She was a senior when I was a freshman, and she was saying that I'm going to be on for this week. If anybody wants to come or whatever, I'll be on. And I emailed her for house seats, and I sat in the house and watched her, and I was like, "You're amazing! Oh my God!" Like I idolized her at school, and then seeing her do that role was just amazing. And truly, I didn't watch it thinking I'm gonna play that role. Like I really didn't, and I think it's just it looked so hard, and I was like, I don't think I can do all that. But I wanted to be a part of it in some way, and for many years, I was going in for Nessa Rose, and I would get to the final callback with Joe Mantello, the director, and it didn't happen. So that's what I kind of saw myself in, and then eventually, as I kind of got comfortable in who I am as an actor, I was like, I think that I could try Glinda. I'm gonna try it. Can I try it? And they were kind of like, but you're Anessa. So it took a little while, but I mean, it doesn't hurt them to see me for it. So they saw me for it, and it worked out. I mean, I only went in twice, and that's so rare. It just was the right time, the right moment. That material connected with me. I connected with them in that moment. It like was just a serendipity moment, and it anyway, all those years going in for Nessa, and then I was like, I was going in for the wrong part. um so yeah, it was, I'm just so grateful that it worked out. And then it was like 5 years of my life on and off. I mean, I did it just in LA last year,
Yeah.
so kind of cool. Or 2 years ago.
Um,
Time
I
has stopped since the pandemic.
yeah, I don't know what day it is. Um, I am a huge fan of Wicked, so it's really cool getting to chat with you on Wicked Day.
Yay.
Um, okay, so you chatted about how Wicked is this great show with these strong female leads, and you've gotten to play a lot of really great female leads in your time. What is it like getting to be that voice and be that voice for female empowerment?
It's an honor. It's a huge responsibility too, and I felt that, and I wanted to do those roles justice, and I wanted to make sure I put in the work and dedication to make sure that I was servicing the script, servicing this part. And I mean, Catherine Plummer, for instance, such a strong woman at the turn of the century, and there was I did a lot of research for her, and I'm really glad I did. I had an understanding about who she was at that time and how to create her, how to best approach who she was. So, uh, yeah, I felt a responsibility, but also I felt so honored too. Like I was excited about it, but also like that good scared of, it made me work hard. It
Yeah.
made me think, okay, I want to do good for younger girls so that they
Mhm.
can come see the show and think, oh, because it's a reflection of our own lives, theater is.
Yeah.
So they can look at Catherine like facing something that's very scary for a girl to stand up and, um, choose to write something political at a time when she shouldn't. And I don't know. It's just I think it's so wonderful to maybe be that voice for a younger girl and have them look to Catherine and think if she can do it, I can do it too. So it's heartwarming. I have those roles that I look to, like Belle in Beauty and the Beast. Susan Egan was mine, like just the awkward, awkward girl that I don't know, kind
Yeah.
of felt like an outcast or whatever, and she finds herself and grows up, and um, so I clung to that kind of a person, get that kind of a role, and so it's just so neat to see these young young girls reaching out to me and saying how much they love Catherine and how she inspires them and some that aren't in musical theater at all. It's just I listen to watch what happens when I have an essay due or when I have a final due, and I was like, great. That would stress me out even more, but I'm so glad.
Gets you
So
typing faster.
yeah, I guess so.
It seems like it's one of those roles that's, I don't remember who said this. I think it was actually Victor Jackson for a Broadway Dreams event. And he said, there are those roles and there are these places and workshops and whatever that you do. And that is your time to jump off the cliff and see if you can fly, prove to yourself that you can fly. And if you fall, you get back up and you try again. And it's just one of those really, that's just what I see Catherine Plummer as, and as well as Glinda and Alphaba and all of those other great
Yeah.
roles. And if you haven't seen Newsies, it's on Disney Plus. So go check that out. Okay, so we had a few people send in questions,
Oh,
some fan
good.
questions.
Yay.
One of the questions is, what would you tell yourself slash younger actors that you think they should know today?
I change this answer all the time, so I apologize. It just depends on the day. But I think well, always be kind. That is number one. No matter what you do for a living, just and in life, like what's the point? Don't be mean. um, but particularly with this business, you just never know who you're going to be working for or with, and you want to have a good foundation when you're approaching a project with anybody. So that, and I think also that don't take everything so seriously. Like just we get to have fun. That's what we do for a living, is create and be creative and have fun. So that's why we do this, because it's enjoyable and we love it. So do that. There's a lot of other stuff around it, like the pressure, and we have to be perfect. We have to prove ourselves to whomever, and I still, this is a practice. I still have to tell myself and make all those thoughts go away and just be like, have fun, have fun. I love this. I love this. That's why I do this. Okay. You know? So I think that's something I would tell somebody like me who's, very nervous and like, oh gosh. And also preparation though. Preparation is key in doing your work, so that you can if you are nervous or whatever, at least you can rely on the fact that you know the material, your stuff. So that's really important.
Okay, so this is where me and my friend geek out about Wicked.
Okay.
The question for you, and you are Glinda, or I guess I need Glinda. A few of us have a theory for the show. So we know that Glinda was Elphaba's roommate in college. They become best friends, all of that. We know that Fiero obviously knows Elphaba, falls in love, all that fun stuff. Our question is, the rumor about the water and her being, water will melt her. Do you think that that is a rumor that was started by Glinda and Fiero way earlier before that rumor pops out for the Aussians as a way of, in case something happens, they can use it to their advantage?
That is interesting. I have not heard of that.
If she was Elphaba's roommate, she would know that Elphaba took showers, that kind of thing. Obviously, if she's gonna like drink water, her insides don't melt. So I guess we were thinking, because we know at the end that the letter that she reads right before for good
Oh wait, are you saying that?
created that idea.
So are you saying that like Elphaba, Glinda, and Fiero are all in on this?
Like all in cahoots, knowing that like maybe at some
Oh.
point we will need to use this water idea, which they do in the end. But we're like, where did that rumor come from? Was someone just like water? Like who put that seed in the Aussians?
That is no, that's a good point. I'm so sorry. So like
Oh
delete
yeah,
this last 5 minutes because I thought you meant like she knew it would melt her and so she was okay. I see. It's played that Glinda thinks that Elphaba has died.
right.
Obviously, like that's how she ends the show. It's like absolute devastation. Um, so I think from playing it that no, because it would completely change the way she says that last
At the very end.
bit, and I think there's something important about the fact that she thinks that Elphaba's gone.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I just think like you need to see that loss for Glinda because you also see the growth that she's had and she finally connects really connects with Elphaba on a deeper level and like they're able to put all of their stuff aside
Mhm.
and hardships and so I think I don't know. I think that she doesn't know.
She doesn't know. Maybe
I don't
Fiero.
know. But that's interesting because yeah, she would take showers, but maybe in some weird because we aren't on Earth really, we're in
True.
this some fantasy world. Maybe their showers look like air puffs. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's
That would
not a
be fun.
shower. Like we don't talk about showers.
Right. Right.
We
True.
don't talk about swimming.
I guess the only time there's ever a mention of showers is Kristen Chenoweth's final show. Is when she does her little. I don't know if you've seen that. No.
Her final show.
Yeah, Kristen Chenoweth's final show. There's a video on YouTube.
Oh
Um,
God.
and it's a video and it's in between popular right before she does the toss toss. She's like, Elfie, I made you a list of things that you need to remember. She like goes completely off script because it's her last show. Might as
Oh
well.
my God.
And she's like, I don't remember all of them, but she's like, shower, Elfie. Don't forget, like, hygiene. Don't forget to do that. And she has this whole list of things. And then at the very end, she's like, don't forget and never lose your beautiful smile. And she's saying that like directly to Adina. And then she
Oh,
does the toss bit. It's very cute.
cute.
So you'll have to
Oh, that is cute.
look up that little gem.
Well, maybe then maybe she doesn't shower. Maybe that's why she said that.
True.
Kristen Chenoweth created the role, so maybe she said that because she's like, why doesn't my roommate ever shower?
Right.
But maybe green skin doesn't smell like like our skin smells.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay. So someone else asked, how do you overcome and learn from your obstacles?
That's such a great question. I think it's a practice of okay, letting go. I think it's all Adina Menzel singing "Let It Go" in my mind. But truly, it's like okay, we have this obstacle, whatever it may be, stage fright, a song that's scary to sing for various reasons. Maybe it's musically difficult. It's really high. But it's letting go of those fears and trying to breathe in the moment. And honestly, sometimes it's as simple as wiggling my toes. when I'm on stage, to feel grounded, to feel the earth. And that was something that my voice teacher told me. I bring her up all the time because she's helped me in so many ways, not just vocally, but like in here. And she was, like this end of the, thank goodness, was always scary for me because it's that high C and I don't normally live up there. And she was like, wiggle your toes. Because like when I was in my her voice studio, I did it fine. I could do it easily at any moment. I could do it here. But then when I got on stage, sorry, he can do it too. When
Future belter.
when I got on stage in front of, thousands of people, I could just like, I froze up and it got like really pinched, or I would crack or whatever it may be. And I would get so devastated and so upset with myself. And it was like, I had to let go of that, the mistakes, and then move on and reassess. How can I go forward rather than be stuck in this, like, I'm bad, I can't do this.
Right.
It's a practice of letting go and just being, and just be present. It's not heart surgery. Nobody's going to die. You're going to be okay. And then, like, finally, probably in my 4th year, I felt like I could do it easily.
Yeah. Right.
But anyway.
Well, I have stood on the Gershwin stage and I have looked out, and that's terrifying. I was not even performing, and I was like, that's cute.
What is helpful is that when, during the show, the lights are shining on you and it kind of blinds you, so you can't really see the audience, but it's the pressure of knowing that all those seats are filled.
All of the seats are there. I know. See, I think I showed the show like 6 or 7 times in like 4 months. It was a lot of Wicked. But every night I was there, it was like packed. And I was like, it's insane that the show, 17 years going, is still packing houses at the Garden, which is insane to me.
Well, I think when you have that magic of the core, the story itself is great.
Right.
And then also The Wizard of Oz is something we all kind of know, so, and it's what happens before Dorothy drops in. So it's like kind of this new, it makes you think about The Wizard of Oz differently. Mm-hmm. And then also the music is genius. Stephen Schwartz is iconic. So he was able to create earworms that stay in your mind.
100%. Yeah.
So there's that. And then visually, it's so stunning. And it's just, all of those things came together perfectly. It's like the Hamilton success in that way. That, yeah. Like, visually, like the dancing, the story itself, the music, it's the same kind of like everything was working together.
Right.
And perfectly. So yeah, it just was lucky, I guess, but also a lot of hard work.
Yeah. So. And they've changed the lighting plot as well, which
for Wicked.
Yes.
Did they change it again? Because they changed it when I was there.
They changed it in like October-ish.
Oh,
last
they
year.
Changed it again.
Yeah, wow. They added a few, which my friend and I went, and we were like, that looks a little different. Obviously, no one else there knew that. Yeah. So we messaged some friends, and we were like, did they change the lighting? Did you guys get new lighting? And they were like, we did. Props to you. Yeah. So this is similar to the last one, but what is the biggest lesson that you've learned as a human, or as just a human, that you've taken from acting?
Ooh, everything. That is such a great question. I grew up very, very shy. That's who I am. I always will be. But I think that, what's inspired me is theater in my life. I feel like it inspired me to make more friends. It inspired me to be at a party and say something to someone that I wouldn't normally, I'd be too afraid. But it gave me courage. Theater gave me courage. You're standing on stage, sometimes by yourself, in front of thousands of people. And I did that, but it was scripted, and like I was told what to say and do, and there's some comfort in that. But also knowing if I can do that, I can talk to somebody that maybe I look up to. I'm scared to say something, a situation like that, or I don't know. And I hear this story a lot. There's a lot of people like me in this business that we were shy, a little afraid, a little bit more awkward, and there's this accepting community within theater, and that feeling of acceptance and that feeling of encouragement and yeah, and being brave to stand in front of thousands of people and say things like that's terrifying. And doing it, and then that, because you do it once, you have the courage then to do it again and again and again, and that confidence continues to build, and that courage continues to build, and that definitely then translates to my life. I mean, from a young age, since I was in 7th grade, when I first stood on stage by myself at, my public school, but still, like in front of all my friends, and they're like, "What are you're up there, you're doing things alone." So that, yeah, that totally has informed who I am. And I think as an actor, you're constantly looking within yourself to see how you connect with each role. And I think you learn so much about yourself in that way. And I think that's another reason why people love it. It's like therapy in a way too, to see how you connect with this role, how that can translate onto the stage, and you're just growing as a person constantly. So it's has changed me entirely. Not
Yeah.
changed me. I feel like it just makes me a better person.
Yeah. Last question, which is from my roommate's voice teacher.
Oh,
She wants to know, how did you prep for your tapping, belting, 8 shows a week moment in Newsies?
oh, so I grew. That's such a great question. I was so I grew up doing competition dance, so I knew how to tap already. But I had stopped dancing that heavily once I went to college. We were dancing there, but it wasn't nearly the same kind. And then once I graduated from college and moved here, you're in charge of your own schedule. So you had to work that much harder to get to a class. Also, it's expensive. You're working your side jobs at a restaurant, and you're like, do I have enough money to go to this dance class? Do I want to? I'm tired. So you don't have that schedule all the time like you did at school. So I was probably taking class like once a week, maybe, which is not nearly as many as I was in school, and definitely not as many as when I was a teenager. Um, but once I was cast in the show, and before I was cast, I was taking some of those dance classes, and actually the gym that I went to, that I had a membership to, they provided dance classes, and I took there. And they would sometimes have that studio open, and I would go in there and dance and do my own thing. But I would do a lot of yoga to prep. It made me feel like I was in my body. It let me stretch, and there's some strengthening within that. And but honestly, I feel like nothing could really prepare me except for doing it. And I would do it at home all the time and practice over and over again. But also wearing the corset is hard. It's like it's a heavy dancing number, and you're wearing like constricting clothing. And then you have to lift your leg to your head. It's just a lot of things. But I think yoga helped me the most. And I would do yoga in my dressing room during intermission, because I don't dance at all during the first act.
Right.
And then you just jump right into it in the second act. So I tried to use like 5 to 10 minutes in addition to doing yoga before the show at some point during the day or before the show. But that was my go-to.
We were laughing. We were like, it's a good thing that Watch What Happens isn't an act 2.
Truly. Well,
Wasn't
here's the
productive.
funny thing. When we filmed for the Broadway Plus and Netflix, all the things, film Newsies Live, we did King of New York first thing in the day. And then we did Watch What Happens after that. And I was like, and when you go running and it's a hard run and your throat kind of hurts from like breathing heavy?
Like that burn
Yes.
sensation.
That's how I did Watch What Happens for the movie that lives on forever. I was so mad, but it all worked out fine. Honestly, that was a moment in letting go, because I thought that. I was like I'm so, because they had you do King of New York about 10 times. And normally you do it once and you're done. 10
Yeah.
times in about an hour and a half, which is a lot. A lot. I was breathing so heavy that you know when your mouth gets really dry?
Yeah.
My lips got caught to my teeth and I was
Mm.
like this. I was like, look at me. Hi. I was so out of breath. There's like one moment in there. I'm like giving my secrets. There's one moment in King of New York where you see that I couldn't get my lips over my dry teeth because we had done it so many times. I was so out of breath. Oh my gosh. And you could kind of see it. I was like, oh.
Well, we would never know that you had just done King of New York before Watch What Happens if you watched the whole thing. So props to all of you
Aw.
for all of that.
Thanks.
Okay, so those are all the questions I have, but I did want to talk about voting.
Yes.
November 3rd is coming up super soon.
Yes.
So I hope everyone has either sent in their mail-in ballot. If you haven't mailed it in already, don't mail it in. Walk to your voting place and drop it in the box or wherever they have it. And make sure that, I mean, everyone should be registered by now. I think
Oh, yes.
deadlines are like done.
Yes,
So,
they are. Yeah.
no matter how long you have to wait, get your vote in.
It was. Did you vote early?
Yeah, I'm in college, so I did absentee.
But yeah, it was everybody, please vote. Yeah, we only have a few more days, so please do use your power. It's an important one. And voting early, it was so.
Too.
What'd you say?
The free one too. It's your right to do it.
Yeah, it's our right.
Do
exactly. Exactly. And it felt really good to do it. It felt so powerful. So I hope that you all feel that when you go and vote.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. Happy Wicked Day. Happy Halloween. I wish everyone a safe and social distanced Halloween. And don't forget to wear your masks.
Yes. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.